Before now, we were talking about means of transmitting mechanical power, right? And we said there are three means via which mechanical power can be transmitted. We have one, using chain drives, two, using belt drives, and lastly, using our gear drives. So, but we've been able to talk about chain drives, belt drives, their types, advantages, disadvantages, and their similarities with gear drives, the comparison between them and gear drives. So this morning we'll be looking at a gear drive. Looking at the combination, we have a gear before a drive is being attached to it. So first and foremost, we'll be looking at what a gear system is all about. What is gear itself? We're looking at what is gear itself. And if we look at our chains are toothed, right? Yeah. Our chains are toothed, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right. But our belts are not toothed, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Though we have gear drive. Although we have some belts that are toothed. That's what we call short belt, toothed belt. But majority of belts are not toothed. But we know chains are always what? Toothed. So when we are now looking at a gear, we define our gear system as a wheel, a toothed wheel. A gear is simply a toothed wheel which is used to transmit mechanical power. It is a toothed wheel which is used to transmit mechanical power or motion between moving parts of machine. Between moving parts. Your gear drives, your gear is a toothed wheel. Your gear is a
toothed wheel.
Yes, they are toothed wheels used to transmit mechanical power or motion between moving parts of machines. Between moving parts of machines. So that is what gear drive is all about. Between moving parts of moving parts of machine. Between moving parts of machine. Between moving parts of machine. So after, all right, welcome. So after knowing what a gear is all about, a gear drive is all about, we'll now be looking at the term gearing. The term gearing. We'll now be looking at the term gearing. We'll now be looking at the term gearing. Yeah, we're looking at the term gearing. When we're talking about gearing, remember that we said these drives, the reason why we are using them is to enhance motion, isn't it? To generate motion, to create motion. So we need to arrange them in a specific pattern. When we are now looking at the method at which gears are being arranged so as to obtain a convenient system of motion or a convenient type of motion, then we are not talking about gearing. If we are looking at the pattern, the method at which these gears are being arranged so as to enhance a particular type of motion. All right, sorry for that. It was bridging network. So let's continue from where we stopped. I was trying to tell you that when we are now looking at the means the several means via which our gears can be arranged in order to transmit motion either in one direction or in different direction, either in one direction or in different direction, or in order to increase the speed of the moving part of the machine, then we are now talking about gearing. So simply put, we want to define gearing now. Simply put, your gearing can be defined as the arrangement of gears. Your gearing can be defined as the arrangement of gears in shafts, as the arrangement of gears, in shafts, in shafts, in shafts, in shafts, yeah, in shafts, for the purpose, for the purpose of motion transmission, for the purpose of motion transmission, your gearing can be defined as the arrangement of gears, in shafts, for the purpose of motion transmission or power transmission, either in same direction, or opposite direction, either in same direction or opposite direction, or opposite direction. Or opposite direction, and also at a desired speed. And also at a desired speed. Desired speed. And also at a desired speed. And also at a desired speed. So that is all about gearing. That is all about gearing. But during the course of this arrangement of these gears, they tend to interlock. And when these gears interlock, there's a general name we call it. We don't call it interlock. We call it what? Meshed. That is, those gears have been what? Meshed. Meshed. So that will now lead us to defining what meshing is all about. Let's define meshing.
So I can define.
All right. What is meshing?
Meshing is
I didn't say
not machine.
I didn't say machine. No, meshing.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So let's continue then. Since we said when two gears interlock, they are called meshed. We can say that such gears have been what? Meshed. Is that not so? So using that illustration, we can easily define Adenuga and Daniel and Adenuga, please, your background, please.
So mesh is when two gears are interlocked.
Yes.
Daniel, which is false?
Okay, who else is this? I think that's all. All right, let's continue. So we can define meshing as the process. Meshing can be defined as a process where two gears interlock, for the purpose of can be defined as the process where two gears interlock for the purpose of motion or power transmission. For the purpose of motion or power transmission.
Machine
can be defined as a process where two gears interlock for the purpose of two gears interlock. Yeah, for the purpose of motion or power transmission. For the purpose of motion or power transmission. For the purpose of power transmission or motion transmission. So that's that for that.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Where's the other Tomiwa?
I don't know. So he's in class. He's on, I think he muted himself due to
Matt
noise.
is also coming from Tomiwa's Adenuga end.
He muted himself already. Yes.
What's the other Tomiwa?
He muted himself.
Where is Tomiwa? Not Adenuga.
So I'm talking. I've been the one talking.
I'm not talking about Adenuga. Adenuga has been talking. What about your namesake?
It's me.
You said?
I think that's been
Tomiwa Adeyemi has been talking.
All right. All right, let's continue then. Okay. So we've been able to discuss what a gear system is all about and what gearing is all about. So this time around, we'll now be looking at the types of gears we have. The types of gears we have. The types of gears we have. Okay, let's look at forms, not types, and forms. Forms of gear.
Forms of gear.
Yeah. We have the driving, which we normally call the driver.
Driving.
And the driven.
Driven.
Yeah, and the driven. So those are the two forms. The driving.
I was like, I've done this before.
Like serious?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I've jotted it down before somewhere. Okay, it was police, sir.
It was police, right?
Yes, sir.
So we have the driving and the driven. So we are going to relate this down to police. When we are not talking about the driving gear, it is the set of gear that generates the motion. Is that not so?
Yes.
Yes. So the driving generates the motion. Why?
And driven pulley transmits.
Yes, and the driven. But we are not using pulley now. Driven gear transmits.
Oh, sir, driven.
Yeah, driven gear transmits. All right. So let's write. The driving gear. The driving gear is the driving gear is that form of gear. Is that form of gear that generates the motion or power.
Generates motion or power.
That generates the motion or power.
Okay, sir.
All right. Then let's move down to the driver. The driven. The driven gear. The driven gear is that form of gear. Is that form of gear that transmits the motion. That transmits the motion. That transmits the motion or power generated.
Power
Generated by the driven gear By the driving, not driven, driving gear.
By the driving.
Or driving, or you call it the driver. By the driver to other part of, yeah. To other parts of the machine.
Of the machine. Okay, sir.
All right. Well, let's continue.
By the driven gear of what?
To other part of the machine.
Not driven is driving or driver.
All right. In a system, in a mechanical system, in a mechanical system consisting of, I'm trying to explain something. In a mechanical system consisting of the driver and the driven gear, in a mechanical system consisting of the driver and the driven gear, in a mechanical system consisting of the driver and the driven gear. When the driver moves clockwise, when the driver moves clockwise, clockwise, that is clockwise in the direction of your clock. Clockwise, the driven, yes, the driven moves counterclockwise. Moves counterclockwise. Yes. Bracket clockwise. Bracket open and close anti-clockwise.
Okay.
Bracket open and close anti-clockwise. Yeah, bracket open and close anti-clockwise. What do we mean by that? I will illustrate here.
Ma? Oh, mommy. And you'll mute yourself. Daniel, mute yourself.
From the diagram we have on the board. From the diagram we have on the board, you can see that both gears had an interlock between themselves, right? That's the meshing we were talking about there. They've been meshed. They've been meshed. So if you look at they've been meshed. If you look at this diagram now, this is the driver, this is the driven. When we mean clockwise, this is what we mean by clockwise. You know, if we have your clock this way, if we have your clock this way, the arm of your clock moves this way, right? So that is the clockwise movement we are talking about. But if you now decide to, maybe you have a damaged clock, you now decide to turn this hand, instead of moving the hand this way, you now decide to turn the hand this way. That is what we mean by counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. So let's now go back to our gears. Adenuga, your background, please. Adenuga, mute yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. So if we have Daniel, mute your background, please. Daniel, you are disturbing our class, please. Mute your background. Daniel. All right, thank you. All right, let's continue. So if the driver is moving this way, which is the clockwise direction, your driven is going to move which way? Is it this way as well? Your driven will move this way.
No, anti-clockwise.
Right? Is it like this?
No.
How?
Sir, it's anti-clockwise.
Is it like this?
Yes.
Yes. So if this one is going this way, it will be going what? This way, in opposite direction. So this is clockwise. Why this is what? Anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise.
All right. So that is that for that. So this means opposite direction. Then we have what is known as these are mesh gears. All right. But there are times that we want these two gears, when they are meshed, to move in the same direction. There are times whereby we want these gears, when being meshed, to move in the same direction. Either both of them should move clockwise, or both of them should move anti-clockwise. But both must move in the same direction. For this to be enabled, or for this to be possible, we have to connect a special kind of gear. We now have to connect another special kind of gear in between the two gears. We now have to connect a special, right?
Sir, sorry, my network is connected, sir. I was at the illustration part.
All right.
I said
all right, thank you. You can mute yourself now. I was actually trying to say that the smaller gear you have there is the driver, while the larger one is.
You just keep quiet. Yeah.
Is that?
Okay.
Similar, please. Mute yourself.
I checked it. I know something.
Mute yourself, please. Stop me one.
Huh?
Yeah,
I know my timetable.
Timile, mute yourself.
I know.
But you told me now.
I know what you do when mommy
Really?
Timile, mute yourself.
When mommy comes, you say you are waiting for us.
That's what you said.
All right. So we said the smaller gear is called the driver, while the bigger one is called the driven. So in situation